as a kid.
Yeah.
And so I just have this warm fuzzy feeling. So as an adult, I have a warm fuzzy feeling. So hopefully that's happening with our student programs.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids though are kids that their parents probably wouldn't let them go out alone to watch films.
You know, I was talking about college and higher.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
And I'm
referring to.
talking about like,
Right.
because we have kids that come back when they're older and they're like, I went here when I was a kid. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
We're old enough, we've been around long enough to have that happen now, and I just love that because they at least they know who we are in a positive way, but they don't necessarily, you know, get it until they get older. But those are the people that we'll be cultivating for members and for donors.
Have we reached out to like film study classes at the different high schools that like their end of the year thing or their projects or whatever?
We do work
Can
at
you
the
show me?
Concord High one. They have like a Hollywood history through Hollywood, and they'll be coming in this year.
Oh, cool. And they
But
have a
it's-
film festival too.
Yeah, it's just hard because a lot of them are tiny classes, and
Yeah.
a lot of the barriers of getting kids here is the transportation. But we do have a grant that's covering that. But it is hard to outreach. We've
Yeah.
grown the past 2 years. The outreach has been better because we've been able to contact teachers and have teachers. But it's the bandwidth too. I wish we had one person just handling
But
the school.
we do a lot of school screenings, and I mean that's even something we talked about like earlier tonight, like restocking because we do school screenings. Like we have usually at least 1 or 2 a week morning screenings that usually it's just me running.
Yeah.
So we do bring in young people in that way. Yeah.
I think it's trying to bring the young people that will come in on their own.
That they have
Right.
their own
Make the-
income.
right,
Like
make their
16-year-olds.
choice.
I think
Right.
it's about
Yeah.
programming,
Ex-
the
it
additional
is.
programming that
Yes,
we're using.
it
So,
is.
I mean, we're definitely talking about that and trying to balance figuring out shifting from rentals to programming and trying to hit those sweet spots.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a trial and error, trying to
Yeah.
figure out what's going to really resonate with people, and also just resonate like the day of the week, what time of year, and so. But it's a process, and I think that we're slowly getting to figure out those things. But yes.
I was about to say I'm actually an HTI student, and I've even taken like film classes and art classes at the NHTI, and there's so many people that I'll talk to students that don't even realize there's a movie theater here, but like, and even in like the film classes, the teacher there, he's actually always tries to tell people about this theater too, and he even gives credit to people who go to see movies here. so
he's doing his part, is what you're saying.
yeah, he's doing his part and everything. I think that it's just like what we were saying earlier with the fact that there is getting people to, like the kids, it's not even just having these school groups and stuff, but it's more about like the kids actually just getting here themselves.
Right.
I know as college, it's like I have to outweigh, okay, I would like to see this movie, but I also have homework. And I like have projects to work on. So I can see why the timing and also the movie might be an issue as to why a lot of people might not be coming here.
And it also takes somebody leading you in the first time.
Right.
You know, this is a very confusing space and very confusing to describe how you park. But once you've done it once or twice, then you get spoiled on it.
Yeah, and I think too, like, because some of you are newer to Red River, but like, when this first started years ago, I mean, we also fought against being the snobby theater. We also fought against being like all these things that have changed over time. So like with this survey, it's so interesting to think about working towards the future and trying to make these tweaks, because back in the day, Red River had a lot of obstacles that aren't even on there anymore because of the work and the team members before you, all that work that was done. Like, there was like, people didn't know what we were. I had some guy come in once being like, are you playing the new Spider-Man movie? This is years ago. And I remember being like, nope, that's not us. And like, why aren't you playing? I think we've come so far in people understanding. So now it's like really refining and figuring out how to take that next step and educating the people about like why we sometimes have to pull movies after a week and why we do the things that we do. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited about the future and about what these.
Yeah, they're really good problems to have, guys.
Yeah,
like, I don't mean to be mean, but your problems are actually pretty darn good.
Right.
Right. And I think that was pretty.
That was it,
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa, hey, yo, all right.
I'm like,
There should have been a question slide. I don't know what happened there, but that's okay. So, so that's pretty much the data we collected from the actual survey itself. As I said, we presented this to the board. The board had quite a few other questions, which we did. We went down and did a deeper dive, and we sort of dug out by age. A couple answers we broke down by age. We broke down by socioeconomic status. We looked at folks who needed extra accessibility here, which wasn't actually an issue. So that's actually really good to report back. And I'm trying to think. And families. And we looked at young families.
Yeah,
And really, there wasn't much differentiation. Sort of want to point that out. There wasn't a lot. The only thing that was different was that for younger families, we saw that difference in the genres that they kind of wanted and didn't want. But that was pretty much it. Yeah. Any general questions? Thoughts, queries, puzzles? Yes.
Quick question. It seems like your data showed that it would be beneficial to bump the weekday night movies a little bit later. I wonder if there were any correspondence that said, any people responded who said, we like the fact that it's earlier.
No, not that I saw. No one
But
said they liked it.
but if you notice, like even Regal doesn't do them late. It's a Concord thing, but
Yeah,
It's
no,
a Concord thing.
well,
Yeah.
and part of the reason we may not have seen the "do you like when they start" is we didn't ask that explicitly.
Correct.
So then
Right.
the question becomes, what can we improve? So you'll only hear from those folks who
Right.
say that's an issue for me. So that's a kind of an incomplete picture.
But it was one that came up quite a lot, so it does
I
sort of
wonder-
beg the question.
Did that change with demographics? So I'm assuming that like most people didn't complain because they're in the demographic that they're retired.
It's the work
But it's
folks.
the
yeah.
The workforce.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
30s, 40s, those people we really need to come in here probably said, I can't
Right.
come at 5:30.
30s, 40s, and into the 50s, right?
Yeah.
Stopped right around,
Yeah.
like say 60.
Yeah, that 5:10, 5:15, 5:20.
I mean, I can't make those moves.
Right,
Yeah.
That's
Even
the-
though I work there.
right.
Yeah.
But that's again, that's this issue of this tension between, does a shift in the time, what does that happen to the folks who might have shown up at that time when they liked it? It was 5:10 or 5:15. So, there'll be a lot of experimentation over the
just
next
Also,
year.
spring, fall, late
Yeah,
summer,
yeah,
early
lots of
summer,
different-
you end up in
right,
that
right.
situation where if you do show a movie at 5:15, so let's take your folks who are your core folks now, the older folks, if I come and see a movie at 5:15 and I'm out by 7:15, it's still light enough for me to drive. If it moves a
in
half
the spring
hour,
and summer.
that could
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
cut me right out completely. Because it might be too dark for me to drive, it might be, And again, you have a significant, a pretty fair amount who are coming from the Seacoast area, who are coming from other areas. So, it's not as much as we'd like to say, why was the geographic one not on here? Was this an earlier version? Because the question slide wasn't there, and also the geographic breakdown wasn't on here. Concord
No, this was
region.
the one I sent today, right?
Concord region
Was
was
it
like
on here?
about 70? I feel like it was 70%.
That might have been in the report. Yeah.
So it was like 70% of all your respondents, but the 30% who weren't from this region had the same issue. The timing issue was also there too. But moreover, those folks are coming from a bit further, and again, didn't break down by any other thing, age, income, all that kind of stuff. So.
And just also too, just because these results came back doesn't mean we're definitely doing any specific thing
Right.
that the survey
No,
said.
no.
So, because also too, I think when we dig deeper to look at what the age of the respondents, what the phrasing of the question was. So anything that I don't want you guys to think that suddenly we're just gonna oh, this said this, so we're gonna
No.
this is information to help us inform the decisions that we're gonna make about the next 3 to 5 years. So it certainly doesn't mean that those answers mean that we are going to change this completely or anything like that.
But it is worth considering if you ever want to beta test something. You don't have to move a full half hour because that's what people suggest. Just 10 minutes. Does 10 minutes make a difference? A 5:15 to a 5:25, does that make a difference? Or a 5:15 to a 5:30, does that make a difference? The cool thing about stuff like this is at least it gives you a foundation to say, oh, we could try something new because we know folks tend to really like this aspect. So what if we added this one extra thing? Do people like it or not like it? And if they don't like it, okay, so we kind of pull back and then we try something else. That's one of the great things about getting awesome, really good results is that it kind of gives you a really nice blank canvas. You can kind of say, Well, there's a couple things we could do to try to make the experience a little bit better. What would we do? Right? It gives you the opportunity to sort of try some new things and be a little bit creative. If you had gotten back like quite a lot of negative information, you'd be spending all your time trying to work on what's not working, right? But
Yeah,
you
that's
guys don't have,
exactly the- you don't have to
yeah,
work on
you guys
what's not
don't have
working,
too
yeah.
much to work on. People love you guys, which is great. Now you've just got to get that love out to more people, and you've got to figure out how to sort of, make experiences even all that more pleasurable so more people show up. I mean, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, and we'll do, we've talked about, this was the first survey comprehensively done, we'll be able to do, hopefully, as new things are tried, we'll collect some data, we'll do
Yeah.
some quick surveys
Yeah.
of people, so you can make those kind of adjustments, figure out and get kind of real-time feedback, so you don't have to wait another 5 years, 10 years.
To find out if it worked.
To find it didn't work, yeah, exactly,
And
right.
we are like, I mean, we're movie theater, so it's kind of nice because we can have this environment where we can just try things out in a pretty easy manner. So, but we'll definitely communicate those to you, so you're not wondering like, why is it like this today? We'll definitely let you know because I think this is an opportunity for you to know that the public really likes you, and so interact with them and talk to them. And as we roll out the survey results to the public, it'll be a great talking point for you to know like that they think you're doing a good job. Pretty great.
Yeah, awesome job. We don't always, Melissa and I work in the same field of these
Oh
surveys.
God, no.
We don't
Can I
always,
tell you?
we don't often get to share
Yeah.
positive
So
results.
often we come in
God, I
and go,
hate that.
brace yourselves. This is not going to go well. You will not like it. So yeah, no, this was actually super fun because all the information it was overwhelmingly positive. In fact, I think when I first saw the data and we were going through it, I actually had this moment of like, how the hell do I report this and you guys believe me? Like that I don't usually find myself in that situation, but all the raw data is here. In fact, Sarah has it. So you're welcome to go look at it. You're welcome to go look at some of the feedback people gave. You're welcome to sort of take a look at what people suggested. But it's pretty impressive, really impressive. I've been doing this for 16 years. This is probably easily the best data results I've ever had to give out. So thank you. That was like the easiest job I've had in a long time. So yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
So how do people communicate this to their populations?
Well, you guys have a wonderful venue.
Yeah.
Like, if I were you, no offense, I'd be making screen cards about 1 in every 5 people actually go to, like, the call to action to me, by far and away, was one of my favorite points that came out of this. You have to understand, like, my PhD is in community economic development, so I'm all about, like, figuring out ways that community members can do more to actually activate their local economies and create better community systems. So, like, that was like totally in my wheelhouse. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, whoa, I would be blasting that on every screen before people like sat down through a movie. Like, you should know how powerful some of the movies here are, or like the experiences here can be. That 1 in every 5 people from our last survey indicated that, as a result of coming to one of our events or seeing a film, they got activated in their communities. That's a freaking amazing thing. I would want to like blast out there that, people gave you guys a 4.73 out of 5 stars. I'd be putting that up there like crazy. I would want people to know that, like, even if they didn't participate in the survey, the amount of love that you got on your surveys. I think people should know that. Because it's, why? People love being on a winning team. That's what it is. Ask anybody who's a Pats fan right now. Like, they know, if you were a Pats fan 20 years ago, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you know what it means to be like, no, we're never, ever, ever going to be great again. But like, people love being on a winning team. They just do. And so when you come here and you can see, even if you didn't participate in the survey, heck, even if you did, that there's all this sort of love and reverence and sort of this idea that you guys have this real community meaning that ties, and again, I'd be throwing your mission up there too. It ties right back to your mission, what you guys are supposed to be doing. Like, I would be advertising the heck out of that.
We're working on that.
Yeah, sorry.
Plan in action. Don't worry.
But yeah, you
they're
have this.
probably-
I would be putting infographics in the newspapers because that was popular to folks. I'd be putting it in your Flick Flash. I'd be putting like little infographics. Somebody here's got to be a designer. No? Somebody here who's super creative and enjoys just like, well, yeah, but I mean, that's honestly, I mean, I do infographics when I work with nonprofits and government agencies all the time. It's just a fun activity to get people in a room with a couple glasses of beer. And like, we sit and we create like an infographic with some of the data, and then we blast it out in like the newspapers or on your Flick Flash so that people can sort of see these little things, not just here, but a constant reminder that you're here that, you know, that you have presence in the community, that you're important, that people see the value in you, and that you guys are bringing something to the table. Like, the local economy benefits from you being here, and they should know that too. So, I mean, I think it's important that you don't just say it here, you should be saying it outside of here. Look at that. That was my key to get off stage. Like, move!
Thank you guys so much. And again, this is if you happen to have a question later and it pops up in your head, and we do have the updated one. I apologize.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
Yes. And you know what it was is I was coming back from a meeting and Sarah grabbed one from a previous one.
It's a previous one. Yeah.
So it's available. So, and there's more information. I know you're just dying to dig in all that data, but and like Sarah said, we are going to be working on like marketing for this, and if you have ideas about that, you can definitely get involved. But otherwise, awesome, right? I think there's more cookies too. So like, it's all coming up roses.
Oh my gosh,
so,
you get one, you don't
thank
do
you so
another one.
much.
Yeah,
welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Super
Melissa,
fun.
Are you a member?
Am I a member? Did we not just have this conversation before? I am not a member.
I mean, we could look at the survey.
Well, first off, I'm going to be honest. I can't
One
be.
in five.
There's no way. No. I want to be clear about
She's
this.
got-
I
yeah.
can't be and do this. So if you want to talk to me
okay.
after this is over, we actually had
Yes.
this conversation last year, which is why I'm sort of.
Oh, all right. Well,
I'm
we're
heading
gonna
So
to
get
this
what
right
date
now.
do we call
I'll
you?
get the checks and then-
Yeah, because otherwise,
Yeah.
right, I'm a
Yeah.
biased reviewer, so I have to remain not a member. In fact, it killed me because I couldn't come see a movie here the entire time we were doing this project, which meant I missed the Mr. Rogers movie and the RBG. Yeah, I can't see it here.
Guess what?
Well, right?
Guess
That's an
what?
ethical
April
thing.
2nd,
can't
you
do
can
that.
come back.
Yeah, you have to stay.
Yeah.
It's an ethical thing. You can't. I have to stay I have to stay unbiased. So I just have
So
to
if
stay.
you were a customer of some other or like a chain of stores or something, would you just stay away from
Yep.
that? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be hard if it was like something I really loved and wanted to like, no, give up for.
That's what you got to do. It's the ethical thing to do.
Exactly.